So it is another beautiful morning, and I thought I would take it as an opportunity to do a walking video vlog, as so often it's actually a time where I get my idea for content in a way. So today's subject is going to be motivation, and basically the power that it has, as well as the fact that it can so often be lacking, and that's where people fall short when they're trying to work towards goals. So it's a conversation I so often have with people, and this is why I thought it would be a good idea to do it in this format, as a vlog really can let me get all my points across without having to sort of formulate it down, and you can just listen along. So I guess the first place to start would be, more often than not, you need to have that initial spark of motivation, that initial spark will get you going and makes you want to achieve something. And once you have that initial motivation, there is then that next process of how you're going to prioritise it and how you're going to use that motivation to get you started. That might be eating better, drinking more water, getting to the gym either at all or more regularly, or a way of increasing your activity. And I think very often the problem is your best intentions are there, you have that motivation, but that doesn't stick around. Motivation is really, really unreliable. It comes and it goes. Sometimes it's really strong, sometimes it's there, but it's quite lacking in power. So what you need to do is learn how to harness that motivation and actually use it to your advantage, get you started, but help you get it into a routine that in fact you kind of go into this robot mode, that whatever you want to achieve, those days when you have little to no motivation, which will happen, that's perfectly normal, you still keep going, and don't be disheartened by the fact that you don't feel motivated every day. It really is a process that we all go through. However much you love it, it might be something you really enjoy doing. It doesn't mean you want to do it every day, but it might be every day that you need to do it in order to see most benefit. It might also be helpful to consider, if you can notice a pattern as to the days you are motivated, what it is about those days that make you more motivated. I think it's a lot easier if you're aware of the things that help drive you and stop you, that you can put a plan into place to keep going on those days when you can't really be bothered. And that's the truth of it. People can't always be bothered, and that's not a bad thing. It's a normal human characteristic. There are days you're really fired up, you've got lots of energy, you want to be doing it. And also bear in mind, especially if it's involving a lot of exercise and a more strict diet than you're used to, your energy levels are more than likely going to go down. On those days when you're feeling really tired and lethargic, you may want to go off plan, and some days that might be a good thing. You might need to have a bit more rest, have a day of rest. You might need to eat a little bit more, just allow your body to sort of recover and repair. But the chances are you actually just need to stick to plan, and if you've stuck to that plan, the next day might just be that much easier. Your motivation's back, you're going to be really pleased with yourself, the fact that you've actually stuck to what you wanted to do, and you're another step closer to your goals. So I guess really the reason I wanted to do this as a blog or a vlog post is the fact that it's really, really normal to feel like this. And it's not about being perfect, because God knows no one is. You need to just try and find a formula that works for you, that makes you feel like you're still working towards your goals. There are things you might just need to try and, I guess what you want to do is try and implement things that help you stick with it. So I am very much an advocate of formulating a plan, because if you have a plan laid out, you're not giving yourself choice. When you have choice and that motivation isn't there, the chances are you're going to make the choices that you wouldn't make if you had given yourself no choice. That's a bit of a tongue twister really, but if that makes sense, you would, if you have every single meal planned, you already know what you're going to eat. You haven't got to get to the fridge of an evening when you're starving, you've had a long day, you're really tired. Oh, what shall I have? No, you know what you're having, you've already planned it, potentially you've already cooked it because you've prepped, and then you haven't got to worry at all. So there's one of the reasons and one of the things you can do to help. choices is so often where it goes wrong, because you have multiple options as to what you can do. So if you can just, especially if you're in a motivated mood at the time, write everything down, plan it all out, be very methodical where you can, because also it saves you time. And I know time is so often the problem that people have. I mean, everyone's busy and trying to prioritise everything they want to. So if you can reduce the time all of these things take, you will get so much further. And also you'll get so much more done. You'll be so much more productive if you manage to do that. So basically it really takes a little bit of time to think about the choices whilst you're motivated. It's the most powerful way that you can use motivation. Actually use it while you have it, because you need to be prepared for the fact that you're not going to be motivated all the time. And if you have that covered, hopefully, it may not be perfect, you may not completely stick to the plan, but you're more likely to go off plan less. So therefore you will be heading in the right direction for longer and hopefully get to your goal sooner. It's also quite useful if you can figure out how you can make yourself more motivated on those days you struggle. So you might find going to the gym with someone, telling your friends and family and your colleagues you're actually really trying to be good and you're trying to work towards your goals, and how much it means to you. I think it's really important to actually tell people how important something is, because they should be supporting you. That's what close friends, family and people that care about you will do. So don't neglect to just get the support from other people, because on those days you just can't be, you're not feeling it, they can help you. They can give you the support. They're like, no, this isn't what you want to do, not right now. You want to work towards your goals. And sometimes actually it's a little bit about being selfish. Now it might sound not necessarily the thing you want to be doing most, but so often people are tempted by other people to go wrong, and that's not a problem. Being sociable is a fantastic thing, but what you actually want to try and do is focus on yourself, because your overall health and well-being is a massively important thing, and being selfish for a short period of time to get you somewhere you want to be and puts you in a better state of health, fitter, stronger, eating better food, you're going to be feeling so much better physically and mentally. And actually ultimately, by being selfish for a short period of time, you will be able to give so much more to other people. And I have a lot of mums that I work with, and you can see how difficult it is, because obviously your kids are always going to come first. You've always got to prioritise them. Something's going to be coming up, something at school, you've got to they're not very well, or coming up into the winter time, that's pretty much a non-stop event, and of course you've got to put them first, but don't put yourself last. You need to put your own health and well-being up there as a priority in your day and your week. And not about beating yourself up, but just making a little bit of time. It's not about hours and hours of the day. Making slightly healthier choices, drinking more water, maybe doing a 10-minute home workout. It's not necessarily completely shifting everything, but those small changes can make such a big difference as to how you feel. It's absolutely worth doing, because you feeling better about yourself will allow you to actually do even more, have more energy, and just feel so much more positive, which is absolutely the key and really important in having a healthier lifestyle. So if you're having one of those days where you're lacking motivation, don't worry about it. It's absolutely normal, and you will, if you take a few steps, get through those days. They are the hardest days, as I was saying with Vic. They're kind of the days that are the character builders, and you might not particularly enjoy it whilst you're doing it, but the next day could be so much better just because you haven't gone off track. So be motivated, but don't get stressed when you're not feeling it. There's a lot of other characteristics that actually allow you to keep sticking with something, within that desire to have that healthier, fitter lifestyle. It's not about being perfect, it's about finding a balance, making small changes, and you'll find yourself sticking to things that you didn't think you'd be able to stick to. And sometimes you might be thinking, but it's not enough, I want to do this, this and this. But you know what, if you're making small changes, you're not in the same place as you were. You've made improvements. Don't expect to be perfect, it's not going to happen. Not just yet anyway. So just small steps, small changes, and keep positive as to those things that you've changed. Also, be aware of how much of a goal you set yourself. If you set yourself a very strict goal, the chances are you're going to have to be extremely disciplined in order to achieve it. Whereas if you actually just want to have a healthier lifestyle, that can just take time. You can make small changes over time. It doesn't have to be dramatic. If you have set yourself a big goal, the discipline has to really kick in and you have to stick to plan in order to get there. But that's, either of those choices are good. You just have to be aware as to which one you're at and what's most important to you. And you might find changes along the way. I've had many people come to me that have started off, usually it's just with I want to lose weight. And over the weeks, yes, they want to see the number come down, but actually there's a lot of other aspects. They're feeling so much better, they're stronger, they're seeing their shape change, and they start to adjust what they're really doing it for, and they didn't even realise it at the start. So don't worry about adjusting your goals as well, but make sure you're realistic. Be realistic with the fact that it's either a really tough goal and you need to stick with it 100% and really just get every element right, or you just want to make gradual changes. Do one thing this week, then add something else in the other week. You'll find these things will seep into your habits, and then it's so much easier. And again, that motivation doesn't need to be there. So give it a go at making small changes and be realistic as to your goals. So I guess this has been a bit of a generalised chat, really, just a few thoughts on motivation. I hope you take something from it. There's a few ideas that perhaps will help you. And if you like this sort of vlog, just let me know. I get so many of my ideas on my walks. I thought, well, why not do a vlog, because then I can just have a chat with you all. And if there's any other subjects you'd like me to cover, I can just have my little ramble on my walks and have a chat on any subjects you might be interested in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.